Glidance. It's not a cane. It's not a dog. It's a self-driving mobility aid. Amos Miller, founder, Glidance. Moderator, Dr. Josh Millet, Principal Accessibility Research, Amazon.
Thanks so much, Alice. It is such a pleasure to be here at SiteTech Global 23. And today I'm speaking with Amos Miller, who is a well-known innovator in the area of wayfinding and orientation mobility technologies that support blind people in independent travel. And Amos, always great to talk to you. But for those who aren't already familiar with your work, do you mind introducing us to a little bit of your background?
Josh, thank you very much. It's really great to talk to you and to be here at SiteTech Global. I think I love the energy of the innovation around this event. I'm the founder and CEO of Glidance, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But prior to that, I spent many years at Microsoft Research. Most recently, I led the development of Microsoft Soundscape, which many in the community will be familiar with. This is technology that uses audio augmented reality to help a person build a richer awareness of their surroundings and navigate effectively.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about Soundscape, I'll just mention, I think, is its use of spatial sound, right? You mentioned auditory augmented reality, but basically what that means for people who aren't in the tech world is you can hear where things are just from a pair of headphones. It's amazing.
That's right. And the goal there is to enhance awareness. So you walk around with your dog or cane or residual vision or sighted guide, and it enhances your awareness. I would want to add that I am blind myself. I lost my sight in my 20s from RP. And so technology and sight loss is a passion of mine and has been for a while. And I continue to explore ways in which advancements in technology can really make a difference in our ability to get around and live life to the fullest.
Absolutely, and yeah, we share that, and I'm sure many of our folks in the audience share that as well. So, Amos, just for those who don't necessarily use the tools that we use to get around, can you give folks a quick kind of overview and orientation to the landscape of the tools that we use, the methods that we use as blind people to get around in the world? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and thank you for bringing it up. And I'll give my view here. It's not necessarily everybody's view, but I think that really in the last 15, 20 years, there has been incredible innovation in the mobility space with a variety of navigation apps that are getting better all the time, and the equipment that they run on the phones, smart canes, tactile maps, now more live technologies. One of the things that really blew me away very recently, Josh, I don't know if you played with the generative AI that provides scene description. You can put up your camera and really get a layout of the space and navigate throughout. So I think we are blessed with incredible innovations.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, it's very important to acknowledge that the benefit of these technologies are mostly limited to people who are already out there and confidently use their canes or guide dogs. And one of the things that I learned over the years is many people in the community are not as confident. Many have not necessarily received a great deal of training. They don't get around independently. I spoke with a student a few weeks ago that told me about her. She studies law in a reputable university, and she has to choose her classes based on the routes that she has to walk rather than what she wants to take.
Yeah, so I mean, the tools, the choices that we have often do sort of shape the decisions we make about what opportunities we're able to connect with. I really, and you mentioned sort of all these innovative things, and I just want to underscore that, at the bottom of it all is sort of the low tech independent travel, cane skills, guide dog skills, knowing how to walk with a human guide, and so all of these other technologies tend to be kind of additions to those fundamental skills. But you're actually working on something really new. It's not an app. It's not a tactile map. It's not part of a smartphone. It's a departure, I think, from many of the other technologies that we already have to augment the tools that we're using. I think it's called Glidance, and you've got a whole organization that's around it. Could you tell us about the mission of the organization and the project that it's focused on?
Thank you, Josh. Absolutely. And really, to point it out, the challenge that we're trying to focus on is really how do we help many more people to get out and about. And that's where I founded Glidance. Glidance is a new company that's focused on helping to help advance the field of independent mobility with AI and robotics. We have a world-class team. I'm very fortunate, with collaborations and with a number of universities. And our mission really is that every single individual with sight loss can get around independently. And I know that's very ambitious. That includes people who lose their sight later in life, many of them struggle to develop strong mental mapping skills. And to do that, we believe that there's a need for a new kind of primary mobility aid that we call a glide.
I think you've got a video that that sort of gives a quick demonstration of the concept, and I think let's play that now, and then we can talk about it more.
Wonderful. Let's do that, and I'll explain afterwards how it works and everything.
Hi, I'm Amos Miller, and I'm the CEO of Glidance, and we're introducing Glide, a new mobility aid for people with sight loss that uses autonomous guiding technology to simply guide the way. And I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, I'm standing in a shopping center. I have Glide's handle in my right hand, and the handle extends to about 2 feet in front of my right leg, and it rests on its 2 wheels. Now, as I nudge it forward, the wheels start to steer the way.
Using its smart sensors and camera, Glide spots a pillar in the way and is steering its wheels to guide Amos safely around it. While walking through a crowded area, Glide weaves a smooth path. Amos is walking confidently and with purpose. Take note that Glide's wheels are not motorized. Glide is not pulling him at all. He's walking at his own speed. Amos then twists the handle to turn left, and Glide takes the turn to the left, only when it is safe to do so. With its side sensors, Glide helps Amos keep a nice straight line along the corridor. Now, using its camera, Glide detects and steers Amos to the escalators. With a haptic signal through the handle, Glide indicates for him to slow down before smoothly boarding and coming to a stop. As Amos reaches the top, he nudges Glide forward off the escalators, and Glide leads Amos off to the right. By detecting the door to a store, Glide smoothly and purposefully steers Amos inside. Easy to use, light, and affordable, Glide is a mobility aid for the future. Glidance, your way to autonomy and independence.
Wow, really great video, Amos. The product itself sounds really exciting. I think what I'd like to dig into now is, can you give us a little bit more detail about how you're going to make all this magic happen? Very interested in the
absolutely,
technology.
Josh. It is what it is about. As I said, Glide is a self-guided mobility aid that simply guides the way. And it uses sensors and AI to do that. So I'll just quickly explain. So I've got Glide in my hand right now. I'm actually showing the bottom of Glide where there's two wheels that touch the ground. And on the body of just above the wheels, there are short range sensors that detect the environment around Glide. It can see objects, it can shoreline, and the way that it guides is that you wheel it forward and it steers the way. And I'm just moving the wheels left and right just to demonstrate that the wheels turn like the front of a car. And the really cool thing about it is that the wheels are actually freewheeling. They're not motorized, so they don't pull you around. You nudge it forward, you walk at your own speed, at your own leisure, and Glide steers the way, keeps you on a safe path, and avoids obstacles. So
and you're
these are
sort
the
of rolling
sensors at
it
the
out.
bottom. Let me just just show the top of the handle. I'm following the top to the top of the handle where the person holds the device, and on the top here we have a camera that can look further afield, help you detect a destination, detect a door, detect something, and really plan a path and then steer you all the way there. So that's broadly speaking what Glide is.
And Amos, for those who aren't able to see the object or the video, just the idea, the ergonomics of it is you sort of are rolling the Glide. The wheels are sort of out in front of you by maybe a couple of feet, and
a couple of feet, yeah.
And you're holding a handle with that sort of almost like a cane, right? But
probably a little bit more of like a guide dog handle. So you hold it around your waist level with one hand, and you walk forward. If it's in front of you, if you're holding it in your right hand, then Glide will roll a couple of feet in front of your front foot, and as you walk, the wheels steer, so you don't have to make your immediate navigation decisions. Oh, there's an object, where's there a path to get around it? Glide just takes you around it.
And where are all the smarts for this? How does the actual, so I understand that there's a camera on it. There, maybe some other sensors, probably infrared sensors, maybe a LiDAR thing, I don't know. But where is who's doing the thinking? How fast is the reaction time, stuff like that?
Yeah, no, so really, Josh, this device is planned to be a mobility aid, right? It's not a robot, and it's not something that is super complicated. Our goal is that when you leave the house, you pick it up and you walk. You don't set it up and go and do all kinds of crazy things, yeah? And so to do that, Glide actually has, it does a lot of the thinking inside the device itself. So it's self-sufficient, it has compute capabilities and so on. But we also have a companion app for it, so for settings and for things that you want to do. But you don't have to open the app every time you go somewhere. And it will also be powered by capabilities in the cloud, especially for the more advanced AI scene understanding capabilities, which we'll occasionally need, but it's not going to depend on that. It's all runs on the device, very quick reaction, immediate response to everything that's happening. So this needs to work quickly.
And I think that its primary, tools like this have different capabilities, and you demonstrated some of them in the video that we played. Yeah. But there's sort of the fundamental obstacle avoidance that is something that I think this is intended to do. But there's also finding doors, finding paths, finding crosswalks. Is there really enough onboard processing power to bring all that off and without a lot of latency?
Yeah. So one of the benefits that we have with Glide is that this is not a wearable device. You don't have to carry any weight. You don't have to, it runs on wheels. We can put a bigger computer on it. We can put more battery on it than you'd be able to put on you. We can choose our own components. We're not dependent on somebody else's components. Yeah. And so we can really optimize, and there is tremendous progress in these kind of miniaturized compute AI devices that really don't cost a great deal of money, and really these are the kind of technological advancements that enable us to get to this point and build this kind of device today.
So I'm really interested in sort of talking about who's going to benefit the most from this, right? Like we know that there are many experienced cane users and guide dog handlers out there. Who do you expect to really benefit the most from this innovation?
This is a great question, Josh. I mentioned earlier that the large majority of people with sight loss actually lose their sight later in life, and many don't have strong cane use skills. Mm-hmm. And so we are working to design Glide to give them that simple solution that gets them back on the path to independence as quickly as possible. So that, I think that one of the benefits of Glide is that it's so easy to use that you can probably take a walk in your immediate neighborhood with Glide within a day of getting it. Yeah, which is, as you would probably agree, a leap from any other kind of primary mobility aid that we can get access to today. And I think that, now that's not to say that I think cane users, we have lots of feedback from people who are cane users and people who are guide dog users using the device and benefiting from it and finding real value in, certainly in certain scenarios where they just want to get around quickly and move quickly. And I think we have to think about it as another tool in the tool set. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we really hope that Glide will serve a role in bringing O&M to many, many more people, really by enabling you to get back on your mobility journey really quickly, but also for existing cane and dog users, I think that there's benefits there.
And I think, you mentioned sort of, the cane skills, the guide dog skills, if you want to use a guide dog, it requires, weeks of training and lots of, and of course, cane skills also require training and building of skills. And I think confidence is also a huge part of sort of what holds people back as they are building these skills. What kind of skill building will Glide require, and what do you think it will do in terms of people's confidence? How can it support not just skill building, but confidence in your ability to travel independently as a newly blind person?
Look, first of all, I don't want to diminish the importance of orientation and mobility skills, okay? But I think it's important to understand that Glide ultimately provides navigation that reduces your dependency on your orientation and mobility skills. Now, if you know the area, you'll navigate on your own, but if you don't, and there's a path that you need to take on a regular basis, Glide can take you on that path without you having full orientation awareness of every single step that you take. And that's an important departure from how we think about O&M today. This is going to guide you. It's not, you can guide it, you can drive, but it is going to guide you. And that's a leap that we as a community are going to have to take forward.
And I think one of the interesting things about this, and I'm interested in your thoughts also. One of the interesting things about this is that, we've been talking about the idea of devices, we meaning people like you and me who think about how we can innovate. We've been thinking about devices like this for a long time, and it has sort of for so much of our professional careers, this has been kind of a pipe dream, not something that the technology could support. But it seems like one of the things that we need to do every now and again is reevaluate the ideas that we've already sort of said, oh, that probably wouldn't work, and to reevaluate it in the context of the changing landscape of technology and the capabilities of computers. Do you want to just sort of talk about that a little bit too?
Yes, I mean, I think that there are a lot of wrecks along the path of mobility aids, and there's a lot of, but there's real gold nuggets in those wrecks as well.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes these wrecks are because of the challenges and the readiness of technology. Often these are just in terms of how they fit into our lives as people who are blind and live a daily life, and how it interferes or supports our experiences. And I think it's a combination of those two aspects. I think it's I think, like you said, it's a pipe dream that it's kind of obvious, right? We have autonomous vehicles. Why don't we have robots that guide people?
Mm-hmm.
But to do it, and to do it right, we have to have the affordable technologies to do it with, the powerful technologies to do it with, but also to design it in such a way that the user remains independent, that the user keeps their agency, but it really benefit from the experience. And that's, those are the kind of things that we, as we kind of evolved the concept of Glide, have been sent front and center. It's not, I don't call it a guide dog or a robot dog, because it doesn't walk, it doesn't bark, it doesn't step on your feet. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It runs on wheels. I don't call it a smart cane because it doesn't work anything like a cane. That's why I call it a Glide. It's a completely different device. It's a different experience. And I think that this is definitely something that will start opening up that opportunity to get these technologies to people's hands.
Yeah, and I think that it's just so it's so interesting to me that that we're sort of able to, the changing capabilities of computers really do change what's possible. And the other thing that I just want to emphasize for the audience is that a lot of the sort of guidance aids that I've heard about in the past have been designed by sighted people for blind people, with maybe a blind person in the design mix, but you are blind, and you are extremely experienced not only in the building tools around orientation mobility, but you are a user of such tools. And so I just, this is a point that's really important for folks to understand, that that we as blind designers have insights and understandings of the context in which these tools are going to be used that are very difficult for many other folks who aren't blind to really to integrate appropriately. So just a little soapbox of my own. You want to comment on that?
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I think you've said it. You've said it right. It's the intuitions that and the nuance that is hard for people. Like people ask, why can't you use an app just to do it? And I say, guiding you. Imagine trying to walk through a door and not hitting the two sides of the door with something. How do you do that? Right.
Yeah.
Most people don't think about that question, but we have to deal with that all the time, right? And so we use a cane, or and so those are the nuances. Yeah.
Amos, we're coming to the end of our time together. I just want to let's get concrete. When do you expect this technology to be available, and how much do you expect it to cost?
Thanks. So our goal is that our goal with Glide is that everyone gets one. I think, and with that, we are looking at a very affordable device, and it's designed that way. Our goal is for it to cost somewhere between in what it costs to own a cell phone subscription. So it's not $50 for the device, but it's also not $3,000 for the device. Something that people can afford in the range of a cell phone. I at this stage provide a release date, but what I can say is that we're very soon going to be opening a pre-order program for Glide, that for small deposit people will be able to secure their place to get one at a discount. And what I would say is I would urge folks to hop onto our website, glidance.io, glidance.io. Glidance is written as guidance, but with an L instead of a U. And just register your interest, and we'll be sure to let you know when we open the program, and also keep you informed of developments. We have interesting and opportunities coming up in the coming months.
Great. Amos, I'm going to be tracking this project with great interest, and I really want to just say thank you for this conversation, and thank you for working on these kinds of important issues to help blind and visually impaired people have more options for independent and confident travel. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Josh. I really appreciate it. And I want to say that I'm not doing it on my own. This is, there's a whole village of people who are so motivated and excited, and I invite people to join us on this journey, to engage. We're doing it out in the open exactly because it is so important. It's so important to get right.
Fabulous. Well, I really look forward to finding out how it turns out. Thank you, Amos, for speaking with me, and great pleasure to be here at SiteTech Global. Back to you, Alice.